In fact, I've been saying this in every interview. There's no difference. Sunny sir and Tara Singh is the same.
Yeah,
Yes,
that you've written in the
yes,
post
yes.
as well.
He's endearing. He's loving. He's warm with his people. The dialogue delivery, the power, the strength of conviction. To see him from real life, Sunny sir to get into Tara Singh mold is a sign. Hey, this is Gaurav Chopra, and you are watching me on midday.com. Keep watching.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, but not the clear way. The Gadar 2 has already been out, it's released, it's been more than 2 weeks now, and movie has it's made more than 500 crores. But what I want to talk about with Gadar 2 and your part in it was something that I found on your social media. There was this small interview bit that I saw on your Instagram where a former army general spoke to you about a particular topic that's related to the ending of Gadar 2, right? There's a certain twist that he talked about, right? So I would want to know about that. How did it happen? And
the film is set in 1971, and you have to understand the responsibility of the role that I played is not so obvious. In the Pakistani army, we had about 5 or 6 different characters, and they all had their own shades and crafts. The Indian army, in totality, was to be in a realistic manner represented through this one character. So not only did you have to wear the correct uniform, the correct hair, the correct medals, but your body language, your demeanor with the brigadier general, your conversation with the politician, with the civilian, it all had to be correct in terms of protocol, in terms of how it actually happens, how an army colonel speaks to a major, or how army colonel speaks to a brigadier general. Is slightly different because of the way hierarchy is. The grace of the uniform had to be maintained because I was wearing an actual uniform from 1971. It's an actual uniform. When I first wore it, I realized I had to change my body shape because in 1971, the body shape of a man used to be different. They were not so V. Now we try and make we go to the gym to make like this shape of a body, and so then about 8 or 9 kgs of weight before every schedule, then lose that for Rana Naidu, then gain it back. The hair, the mustache, took us 20 days for the mustache. Lambi, choti, badi, moti, should it have a point or not? But so much fun. And such a good time spending those precious moments with actual army officers before every schedule. So I got into as much as I could into the skin of that entire thing so that the representation could be real. Now in the end, in the 1971 war, the Indian representation of the army officer, we capture them, I kill the villain who is of course trying to create trouble between the two countries. I kill him, and after that, the rest of the Pakistani army officers that are there, I go to them and I say, अब जाइए वापस अपने परिवार के पास, अपने देश के पास. हम नहीं चाहते कि आपकी जनरल की बेवकूफ़ी का भुगतान आपके परिवार को करना पड़े. And then he goes on to say,
this was the real
this is the real dialogue. He goes on to say, आप पड़ोसी हैं, पड़ोसी की तरह रहिए. कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि हमें आपका भूगोल बदलना पड़े. And this line has a much bigger echo to it because at the time that we're speaking about, the 1971 war led to Bangladesh being formed, and so the Bhugol actually got changed. So it's that big line that was there in the end. I wish the audience had gotten to see it, but sometimes things don't make the cut, and well, now you know.
That's a very heavy statement in a movie.
Correct. Also from the Indian army representative to say it to the Pakistani army and also to the other nation, and also the time of the story, like I said, the 1971 war. The entire film is set just before the war starts. So what thing to say कि war शुरू होने से पहले हमारे जो आर्मी के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हेड हैं वो कह रहे थे दैट पड़ोसी हैं, पड़ोसी की तरह रहिए, कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि आपका भूगोल बदलना पड़े. And then it's almost like it came true. वो भूगोल बदल दिया. And I know that selfishly speaking, as an actor that this would have been nice. थोड़ी और ताली और सीटी मिल जाती मुझे एंड में लोग थोड़ा और शोर मचाते मेरे नाम से. But without being greedy, it's such a heady feeling. People have loved the film, so there are no complaints. And sometimes, like I said, things just don't make the cut. Anil sir was mentioning to me somewhere that he likes the line very much, and सोच रहे थे वो, he was also thinking of how to put it somewhere. So maybe you'll get to see it somewhere, or I'll request him and put it out myself. But it would have been one of those monumental lines that people would have remembered the film by. But like I said, sometimes things don't make the cut.
So you're maintaining your body weight, everything between two roles like Rana Naidu and Gadar 2. So how did you work on that? That involves a lot of process and a lot of physical activity
yes.
as well.
No, so apart from the gymming, it's basically a diet thing. It's a lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
You need to understand how you can put on healthy weight. You don't want to be eating ice creams and drinking banana shakes every day. It was more a question of the diet to put on that kind of weight. The exercise routine for Gadar was more the Pehelwani Akhada kind of exercise routine, more freehand, whereas Rana Naidu was the actual gymming with the trainer. But the diet was very different for both. The weight had to be put on and lost, and the hair had to be grown and cut. So yes, my 1.5 years went just in transforming myself from this to that, and back and back and back. And my maid went crazy. She said, "भैया आप बहुत ऐसे मुझे अलग-अलग बात बोलते हो." And I was like, "पर ऐसे ही चल रहा है, अभी आप सुनते जाओ, please ऐसा बनाओ." Tough, but very, very enjoyable.
Well, again, congratulations on that. Your hard work has definitely paid off a lot, and it's visible in all in Rana Naidu and Gadar 2 as well, right? But on that note, I'm sure this question must have been asked to you a lot. But I wanted, if you can tell me in a very different format. You in fact made a post on social media about how the movie Gadar 2 has done well and how was working with Sunny Deol like, right? He's a very senior actor. You're a very senior actor. But working together, while working on the set, what did you feel the energy was like when you're shooting for a movie like Gadar 2, when Gadar Part 1 was a huge movie
Well,
in itself?
it's a legacy. You feel the burden of that. You feel like there's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
You can't let people down.
It's like when you were wearing that uniform, army uniform.
Yes, you don't huge responsibility on my shoulders, and a lot of people will not realize because they'll think इतने ही तो scene थे उनके, but it felt like a huge responsibility because you're wearing the actual uniform. The helmet in the climax they got from some archive record somewhere because वो वैसा helmet अब बनता भी नहीं है. Everything was so detailed and accurate. It had to be done. Sunny sir is a delight to work with. In fact, I've been saying this in every interview. There is no difference. Sunny sir and Tara Singh is the same.
That you've written in the post as well.
He's endearing, he's loving, he's warm with his people. He's sincere. And then you see him in front of the camera and he just explodes. The dialogue delivery, the power, the strength of conviction. Wow. To see him from real life, Sunny sir, to get into Tara Singh mold is a sight. It's a sight because I think he's the first superhuman character we made. Tara Singh, he can go to a country and fight an entire country alone, and nobody questions him. His strength, his conviction comes from emotion and love. I think that's what Indian cinema is about. Emotions, love, family ties. These are the things that are sort of way stronger in our cinema than other parts of the world. So I think that's where Tara Singh is a good embodiment of that he embodies and represents that love, emotion and family values.
What about your upcoming projects? You gave a gist of it to us in the beginning. So anything that you would want to talk about, you're excited
like
for?
I said, there's about 6 or 7 scripts. Some of them are very interesting. But we're just on the cusp of announcing, so it might just be a little wrong for me to... in fact, I finish this interview and go to their office to discuss the announcement itself. So yeah, very, very soon.
Good luck on all your future endeavors.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.